Ako sunod. Elements of theater. O kana. Tulo. So, good morning everyone. I am Miss Andramara Vito. I am the next reporter. So, my topic is all about elements of theater. Next slide here. So, first, what is theater? So, can you read Mr. John Lex? Thank you. Next slide, Marbs. So, hala. Next slide na lang. Nag-una dito. So, these are the elements of theater. First is performer. So, performers must learn to use both voice and body with necessary flexibility and control. They must also be able to create acceptance of universal truths and traits of the character they portray. So, as what they have said no earlier nga, ang performer is mo ni siya ang muak sa stage mo kanang mo dance like that. So as a performer ka, kung unsa ang role nga gihatag nimo sa director is maoy dapat nimo i-portray. Like for example, ang gihatag nga role sa director nimo is baby. So muak sad ka as a baby. So next slide, Marbs. Loading. So second elements of theater is audience. So the essence of theater is the interaction between the performer and the audience. Siyempre, kung naay mo perform, dapat sad naay audience. So the audience drives every aspect of developing a theatrically performance. Initially, the audience serves as the role of driving the content of the play or performance itself. The audience serves the role of driving other decisions as well. For example, producers will consider their audience during casting. Next slide, Marbs. So, the third one is director. The director makes certain that the performers understand the text and deliver the script excitingly and appropriately. So, ang director no is kuan, mo ni siya ang in charge of the creative vision of a theater production. Then, ang goal niya as a director is to bring out the best performance from the actors and tell the story of the play in a compelling way. So, they also oversee creative choices on stage such as costume, design, lighting, and sound. Siya may mag-provide tanan. Next slide, Marbs. So, the fourth one is theater space. So, kindly read Miss Sokoren. Ano po ba sis? John Angel? Ako na lang. So, theater space. Sige, sige. Another necessary element of theater is the space in which performers or audience come together. It is essential to have a stage or some equivalent area where actors and actresses can perform. So, dapat sa theater, no, dapat magnaa dyan ay space para sa mo perform o space pod para sa mga audience. Next slide, Marbs. So, the fifth one is design aspect. So, naay duha ka aspect ang design for visual aspect og non-visual aspect. So kaning visual aspect includes na ani ang mga costumes sa mga performers, lighting, and some form of scenic background, while non-visual aspect is the sounds or music. So theater design is the design of the space where a performance takes place. So it is the creation of a unique stage environment meant to house a dramatic action. Theater design relates purely to the visual aspect of a production. Next slide, Marbs. So the six elements of theater is text. So it must be present for theater to occur. So another for the text is script. The character should have good to reach, but to reach that goal, they must go through a series of complete without conflict. The story would be boring. So next slide, Marbs. So, so the seventh element is kuan plot, the sequence of events of incident which the story is composed. Mo ni sa ang sequence pang sunod-sunod nga pangyayari sa events. So a conflict is a clash or contradiction of action, ideas, desires, or wills. So manon mao ni siyang the struggle between two opposing forces, whether as a character's internal has the with themselves or an epic clash between series. So second is a person against another person. Mao ni siyang protagonist and antagonist, like magkuan na ang bida o ang kontrabida. So next is a person against environment, the external force, society or date. So mao ni siya example ani kay kanang people have to face problems that can see by nature or their surroundings. So like having to deal with a big storm. So there's a problems can be really tough to overcome, but the person is to find way to solve them and keep going. So the last is a person against herself or himself conflict. So second, so kani is kaning kuan gali ni siya a person against yourself. Kani the main character inner struggle with self-doubts, a moral dilemma or their own. So the character might be conflicted with their own feelings or have two opposing goals. Next slide, Marbs. So, protagonist and antagonist. So, kaba naman mo ani no nga kaning protagonist is mo ni siya ang bida. Then ang antagonist kay kontrabida. So, oh, second is third is artistic unity, essential to good plot, nothing irrelevant, and gold arrangement. So each event should grow out of the preceding one and lead logically to the next. So dapat sa kwento walang kalaman this. The fourth one is plot manipulated. A good plot should not have any justified or unexpected turns to twist. No false lead, no deliberate and misleading information. Next slide, Marbs. Last na lang, Jude. So, the last elements of theater is the characters. So first is direct presentation. Author directly present the characters by exposition or analysis or through another person. So mo na siya, it describe the character through their physical description, line of work, or passions and pursuits. So second is indirect presentation. Author reveals to us the character action. Summon is young describes on actors through their thoughts, actions, speech, and dialogue. So the third one is characters types. A plot character is known by one or two traits around character and many-sided. Mao na dinag mga katong kuan mga protagonist and antagonist like mga third person. So point of view. Sa point of view na say omniscient, limited, omniscient, first person, and objective or dramatic. So first is omniscient, a story told by the author using the person, her or his knowledge control the prerogatives and a limited authorial subjectivity. So kani omniscient kay kuan third person, like mugamit siya og he, she, or they. So second is limited omniscient, a story in which the author associate with a major or minor character. So the third one is first person. The author identifies with or disappear in a major or minor character. And the last is the objective or dramatic, the opposite omniscient. So it also known as objective narration. So when narrator reports the events of a scene without getting inside the character's private thoughts or feelings. That ends my discussion. Thank you for listening and God bless everyone. Thank you. Junlex.